Anyone joins? Since YouTube pulled my last live stream, I figured I'd give it another shot today. I should have announced we were going to stream live, but I didn't know if YouTube was going to let you, being that they killed my live stream last time. And as always, this live stream is for you guys, so if you have any gun-related topics you want to discuss, just type them in and we'll get to them. And welcome, Logan. 40 or 10 millimeter? Okay. 10 millimeter, hands down. I just don't see the point of a 40 caliber anymore because you could shoot 40 caliber out of a 10 millimeter. That's like buying a 38 special. You're much better off just buying a 357 Magnum, and even if you don't shoot 357 Magnum out of it, you at least have the capability if you want. That's just me. Some people just prefer 40. So apparently, I violated the YouTube lines on our stream last week. Apparently, you're allowed to post videos showing firearms and handling firearms, but if you do it on a live stream, it's a violation. Uh, they could have suspended me for 90 days and stopped my monetization. But being it was the first time, they let me slide. I was surprised that they even let me do a live stream today, but thankfully that they gave me a break because I just think 90-day ban and taking away my monetization for first time violation is just a little harsh. And shout out to Practical Civilian. I'm hoping now that we have President Trump and he hopefully will disband the ATF. Next thing I would like to see is national reciprocity. That probably won't happen in our lifetime, but I'd like to see them start it anyway. So my violation last week, I was showing the new Ruger RXM, and I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with it. If you haven't seen the video, you may want to watch it. I just released a video today comparing it to the Taurus, and I did a video of it today and compared it to the Glock, which I'll probably release next week. For $399, that's a lot of gun for the money. Gives you a lot of the features that the Glock has and some that it doesn't. And again, I appreciate all of our subscribers and viewers. This channel gets monetized from the videos that are watched. That earns us income so we could buy firearms to review. And welcome to Rad Moon. Glad to have you here. Glocker 1911. That's a good question because I love my Glocks and I love my 1911s. I guess if I had a pick between one or the other, I'd go with the 1911. It's got the best trigger in the world. I mean, even a bad 1911 trigger is better than a striker fire trigger any day. And welcome, David. Thank you all for joining. So to answer your question here, Radmoon, not that there's anything wrong with a Glock, but out of the box, the 1911 is probably the best shooting gun. It's definitely got the best trigger. And if you're worried about capacity, carry a spare mag. Any thoughts on the Taurus G3X? I have not seen the G3X. I have the G3C and I have the G3. I'm assuming that being the others have been successful, there'll be no issues with that one as well. For the money, the Taurus does make a good gun. It's just that if I haven't purchased the Taurus at this time, and I was thinking about it, after reviewing that Ruger RXM, for a few dollars more, you get so much more for the money. I would definitely consider that. Taurus came a long way. I got to give them credit. They turned out a lot of crap in Brazil in the 80s, and they had a bad reputation for a long time. But the G3 series has been flawless. I haven't had any issues with mine. AR or M&P5? I prefer the AR-15. One thing I do like from the Smith & Wesson, though, is I do like the M&P folding pistol carbine. Yeah, I'm old school. Um, I'm not really a big fan of the 2011s, even though they look cool. I'm old, and I just like the way the original 1911s look. And if they weren't so steep, I may eventually get a staccato, but that's just a little too rich for my blood. It makes it harder and harder to find firearms to buy because I'm not really a big fan of the 9mm, even though I have 18 of them. Um, they have to I guess, build firearms to attract to the lowest common denominator. It's just that it would be nice to see something new come out in 45 ACP or 10 millimeter. It's just kind of tiring every time something new and innovative comes out. It's only in 9 millimeter. 1911 or Taurus? That's a no-brainer. 1911 all day. Taurus is, if you're on a budget and that's all you have to spend, it's fine. But it wouldn't be my choice for my everyday carry. And to answer your question there, Harmon, um, I would take the Walther PDP over the Canik. Um, Canik is made in Turkey, and it's kind of a clone of the Walther, but the Walther is better quality. I have a Canik um, Elite, and the Walther is just much better. Yeah, that PDP Pro is a really sweet gun. I was looking at that myself. Um, I don't have a SIG P365. Yeah, the comps are actually pretty good. I have the SIG X10 comp, and I like that a lot. And Walid, my name is Frank, and I see you're from Pakistan. I bet you there's not many gun owners out in Pakistan. And Maneno 06, yes, I do have thoughts of wheel guns for 357. Um, I personally, out of all of my wheel guns, my Colt Python is my favorite. However, it's probably out of a lot of people's budgets at $1,500. Um, for the money, the Smith and Wesson 686 is probably one of the best 357 revolvers you can buy, and it's also 7 rounds. And Randall P, how are you there? Welcome back. M&P or Glock? Glock. I'm not a fan of any of the M&P pistols. I just find that trigger very gritty. And Harmonies 3Z. Yes, it is home of the great J.D. Vance. MP5 rifle. I'm still not a fan of any of the MP series. However, I do enjoy the M&P folding pistol carbine only because it's 9 millimeter. Yeah, I understand what he's talking about. I'm just not a fan of any of the M&Ps. Best budget defense shotguns, I got to tell you, for the money, you can't beat the Mossberg 500, which is pretty much the same as the Maverick. The Mossberg 500 Persuader is what I have, 20 inches with a pistol grip, and they're at around the $300 price range. Mossberg's been around forever. Can't go wrong with a Mossberg. Well, I have some new products coming into review. I just did a review on the Mission First Tactical Hybrid Outside the Waistband holster. I'll be releasing that shortly. I have a bunch of other things coming in. Darn new firearms right now. It just reloaded 300 more rounds of 9mm. I personally don't reload 9mm anymore. I did the math on it, and I live in the great state of Tennessee. I can go to Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo any day of the week and get a box of 59mm for $9.99. If you add up the cost of bullets, powder, and primers, it's just not worth it. I reload 357, 45 ACP, and 10mm, but 9mm is so cheap, it's not worth the time or the money to reload. That's just my opinion. Yeah, you could get a used Maverick for about that price. I'm just not a fan on used firearms. Uh, Especially if you're going to use it for home defense. Um, that's just my experience. I've seen a lot of crap. Hey, man, oh 06, I'm glad you subscribed. Thank you very much. And blessings to you and your family as well. Yeah, and Harmonies, that Maverick 88 for 250 out of the box is a great gun for the money. I have the 20-inch barrel on mine, on my Mossberg 500 with a pistol grip. I also added a extended grip to it. Um, I like that as well. However, I don't keep a shotgun under my bed. Um, Whatever gun I'm carrying that day usually winds up on my nightstand. Typically, I carry a 10mm. Yeah, the 870 is a great gun. My wife has one of those. I'm not really a long gun fan, and I really suck at skeet. But my wife is pretty good, and she's got the Remington 870. It's a really nice gun. I just built a 300 Blackout AR-15 a few weeks ago. Haven't fired it yet. I still need to pick up some ammo. I don't reload um, rifle. It's just a lot of work. And as far as savings, that's actually not true. I did a video on that shows the cost. You have to reload a lot of ammo to break even. When you consider the cost of the equipment, powder, primers, bullets, the time it takes just to break even, you have to reload a lot of ammo. Um, I don't think reloading I don't think the whole point of it is for saving money. It's that you can experiment with different rounds, and more importantly, there's never an ammo shortage like during COVID. Um, I have 50,000 rounds of ammo on my workbench. Um, as long as you have the consumables to reload your own ammo, you'll never have a shortage. And I think that's the biggest benefit of reloading, not saving money. Like I said, at $9.99 a box of 50, you're buying primers at still almost $100 a thousand. Powder at about $60 to $50 a pound. Bullets, it's definitely not cheaper to reload 9 millimeter. And welcome to Gray. And the other thing about reloading, um, besides the price, is that the availability. Um, I carry a 10 millimeter most of the time, and in my local gun store, it's been probably 6 months since I saw 10 millimeter ammo. And when they do have it, it's outrageously expensive. But finding new guns to review is just getting harder and harder because all the new, innovative, cool stuff is 9 millimeter, and I know I'm not the only person that isn't a huge fan of 9 millimeter. I have them just because they're cheap to shoot, and all of the uh, innovative guns are coming out in 9 millimeter. I'd be a little skeptical about buying primed brass at $55 for five. I'm just saying, you don't know what kind of primers they are. I'm very anal when it comes to primers. I either use CCI or Winchester. Um, yeah, you can buy pre-primed brass. It'll save you some time, but they're normally not. They can't be CCI or Winchester because it's almost $100 for 1,000 CCI primers. Um, so, I mean, that's the nice thing about reloading for revolvers is that you never lose the brass. Um, when I shoot my 10 millimeter, those casings wind up in the next county. I'm always uh, coming home with like 100 less cases than I went with. Same thing with the 45 ACP. I just bought 357 Magnum brass on Midway, and it was like $22 a hundred. So I'd be really skeptical about buying 500 of them that are pre-primed. But let me know how you make out with them. I'd like to really know how the uh, striker fires work on them because um, I don't know. It just sounds too cheap. Yeah, the difference is even though you may lose 9 millimeter brass, I know the range that I go to, a lot of people leave it there, so there's a shitload of 9 millimeter brass all over the floor. I always keep a broom in the back of my car, and you could just sweep up the brass. So, because, like I said, I'm not really a fan of 9 millimeter, probably going to wind up buying another revolver, or a 1911, maybe a Commander. I'm tired of having a box full of holsters for each gun I have and different magazines. At least, with a 1911, magazines will work in all of them. I have the Smith & Wesson 686. I just bought the Colt Python, and maybe I'll buy the Ruger SP 101. But I'm just not a 9 millimeter fan. So even though they keep coming out with new 9 millimeters, it gets harder and harder for me to get interested when I go look at them. And by the way, it's not that I'm not a fan of 9 millimeter because it's not capable. It's definitely a capable round. It's just that when I was a kid and my dad taught me to shoot, my first gun was a 357 Magnum and a 45 Long Colt. And then I started with the Glock 22 40 caliber. So there was just no point in going backwards to a 9 millimeter. And then I went with the Glock 10 millimeter. And like I said, I only have 9 millimeters because the ammo's cheap, and all the new guns coming out just happen to be in 9 millimeter because they have to sell to the masses. And 9 millimeter has evolved a lot over the years. Over the past 10 years, 9 millimeters cartridge has really, really evolved into a great defensive cartridge. And for those of you who are here, again, I really appreciate your support, and I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. I'd appreciate if you could help us out by sharing our channel with your friends, or share our videos as much as you can. The more viewers and subscribers we get, the more revenue we generate, and then the more firearms and accessories we can buy to review for you guys. I can't afford to buy a brand new gun every week just to do a review. You know, yeah, the 34 hollow points may give you peace of mind. Look at it this way. If you go by the FBI stats, where there's 3 shots fired at 3 yards within 3 seconds, these people that walk around with 2, 3 magazines, I mean, they act like they're going into Afghanistan. And if you're confronted by 3 or 4 armed shooters, it doesn't matter how many rounds you're carrying. You're going to die, right? And I get it. Nobody ever said, boy, I wish I had less ammo. But, if you can't take out somebody in 2 or 3 rounds, 17 rounds isn't going to help you. Matter of fact, I don't even have a qualm about carrying a revolver anymore, because, what are the odds of you walking down the street and having 3 armed people attack you? If that's the case, you're toast. You're never going to get off 17 rounds. So I've never been a big believer of having, a shitload of ammo on you. Now, granted, not like the good old days when there were a home invasion, it was one person strung out on crack. Now it's 2, 3 people. But again, if there's 2 or 3 people shooting at you, you're not going to get off 17 rounds. So that it really doesn't matter. I get what you're saying about not having to need it, but again, I have a hard time believing that if there's 3 or 4 armed assailants, that you're going to have a prayer no matter how much ammo you have. I carry one spare mag just for what you said. In case I have a mag failure, I just dump it. And I've been carrying a revolver more. 7 rounds of 357 Magnum. We could debate that all day long. I'm just not buying that you need 17 rounds to survive. That's all. That's just me. Now, granted, um, a lot of these bad guys now are wearing Kevlar, and if they're strung out on crack, you may shoot them 3 or 4 times and they don't go down, and that's when you realize that they're strung out on crack and they're wearing body armor. But if there's multiple armed attackers, you're still not going to survive. Yeah, they can't hit anything at 20 yards. The funny thing is, go watch the police shoot. Um, as an NRA instructor, most of the worst people I've seen shoot are cops. They can't shoot for shit. They qualify with their weapon once a year. I've seen cops on the gun range, the guns jammed. I asked if I could look at it, and it was all boogered up. I asked when the last time they cleaned it. They don't even remember. It occurred to me, though, is that just because someone is a cop, they're not necessarily gun enthusiasts like I used to believe. Um, a lot of them carry a gun because it's a tool. Do I think the New Jersey should keep the 10-round max? No. I used to live in the communist state of New Jersey when Governor Christie allowed 15 rounds. And then in the middle of the night, that piece of shit, Phil Murphy, with the swipe of a pen, made 10 rounds considered high capacity. That is one of the reasons why I left New Jersey. The bad guys, they just don't get it. The bad guys are going to have their high capacity magazines, and the law abiding citizens in New Jersey, they don't stand a chance with their 10 rounds. Now, if you're going to deem me competent and qualified to own and carry a firearm, then what the hell are you telling me how many rounds I can have for? New Jersey is just one of the worst states in the country. I'm so glad I left New Jersey and moved to the great state of Tennessee. Um, we don't need a permit to carry here. There's no permit to buy guns. In New Jersey, you need a firearms ID card to buy ammo. You don't even need a driver's license to buy ammo here. I don't live. I live in East Tennessee near Knoxville. Memphis is about 4 hours away, so I don't live anywhere near Memphis. And yes, if you're going to go to Memphis, you're going to need to carry some power. And for that matter, Nashville's not that much better. And there's parts of Knoxville that aren't bad. There's shooting in Knoxville every day. But I love East Tennessee. I love Tennessee. I'm here 6 years now, and feels like I've been here my whole life. Yeah, Louisiana has some really uh, good gun laws as well, and that's because they have great people in their government there as well. I love Senator Kennedy. He's awesome when he rips the Democrats apart. Yeah, unfortunately, all of the major cities have a high crime rate, but That's what pisses me off about living in Tennessee is that I live in East Tennessee and the crime rate is very minimal here. But damn, Memphis skews the crime rate. When they give the crime rates for the state of Tennessee, Memphis just drags us down the toilet. And it's the numbers aren't really as bad as they seem. It's just that, when you add Memphis to the mix, it makes Tennessee look like the crime rate is high, but Memphis is really a shithole. Yep, New Orleans, just like that. Um, everywhere you go, big cities have high crime. There's nothing you can do about that. But at least for those of us that live in a state where you can protect yourself, I just thank God that's the case here. We should be able to defend ourselves and our family. Yeah, they actually are. Well, that's debatable. There are Democratic states, but the problem is that um, where the electoral votes are and where the people that vote Democratic are make up big numbers. It's just like in Portland. New Hampshire doesn't count. Yeah, yeah, New Hampshire shouldn't count. And if you guys have any ideas on podcasts you'd like to see, um, future reviews, let me know. Top three safest states are Democrat. Well, first of all, that may be, but look at Illinois. The state of Illinois has one of the most strict gun laws in the country. And how many people die in Chicago? I'm just saying. And it's almost impossible to get a handgun in Illinois. And one weekend was like 100 people got killed in Chicago. So yeah, I'm sure Illinois has great people. It's just that their governor, jackass. Um, I spent some time in Illinois. One of the places I worked at sent me to Schaumburg, and that's a beautiful area. But yeah, you just don't want to be going into Chicago. And for those of you that weren't here earlier when I explained, if you were on the live stream last week when YouTube decided to yank my stream, it's because I didn't know I violated policy and you're not allowed to show or display firearms on a live stream. So they yanked it. Hey, Harmonize, thanks, man. I really appreciate you being here. And you have a good day as well. So apparently, like I said, you're allowed to create a video showing firearms, handling firearms, and shooting firearms. But if you show or display a firearm on a live feed, YouTube not only cuts it down, but they punish you. And the punishment is 90 day suspension. And unfortunately, because it was my first offense, they were lenient on me because I think that's a little harsh, especially cutting out revenue because that would really hurt. And we'll be doing more of these live streams. Again, if there's any videos you'd like to see me do or any podcasts, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll do what I can to accommodate that. Again, thank all the people for subscribing. And again, help us grow the channel. Share our videos in our channel with all your gun friends. I'd really appreciate that. The more subscribers and viewers you get, the more firearms I can buy. And hello to you too, V. You have a question there, V? You can ask something, of course. Anyone can ask. And there are no men conversations. Everyone is welcome, so ask your question. Okay, okay, V, ask your question. Go on. And thank you so much, Bricks. I appreciate your subscription. How do I feel about the case of the young lady in USCCA? I don't think I'm familiar with that. And Bricks Tactical, I will check out your channel. Maybe we can do a collaboration or something one day. Okay. All right. See, okay, V. No, I've covered this before, and like I've told a lot of people, you need to be careful. A lot of these places that call it insurance, it's really not insurance. What you're getting is membership to a legal network, and in a lot of cases, you have to use their network. Um, but it does not pay liability. It only pays your legal fees if you're found not guilty, but it doesn't pay for bodily injury to others or property damage. Attorneys on retainer can be very expensive. She shot her ex and they paid 50K and then dropped her. Again, like I said, a lot of these things like USCCAA, All you're really buying is membership to a legal defense network. They're not even insurance companies. And in some cases, you can't even use your lawyer. You have to use their network. Yes, Bricks, I'm going to type in my email address here. Yes, that is my email address, and you're all welcome to email me. If you all have any questions, if you have questions you'd rather not ask in public, you can email me as well. And Bricks, that would be great to do a collaboration. Um, it could help both of our channels. I'm still trying to grow here. Um, it's been very slow, but we're getting there. Thanks, Bricks. I look forward to your email. I'll look for it. And V, again, you have questions, you can email me as well. I understand some people, depending on the subject, they just don't feel comfortable typing in their questions here. Any of y'all could email me at any time. Also on my YouTube channel, you can go to the About tab, and my email is there as well. And what is the subject 2000? I took my drone out today flying, and I think I got a great idea to use it for shooting. I think one day I'm going to take the drone to the gun range and have the drone pointed at the target, and then when I shoot, the drone could record all my shots. So I have to give that a try one day. I just wanted an excuse to buy a drone. Anytime, V, if there's anything I could do for you, always let me know. Same with all you guys. I'm old. I've been shooting for 35 years, so I've experienced a lot of things in those 35 years that younger people just haven't ran into yet. Now that I know that people like these live streams, I'll probably do them more often. I only did one or two of them to see if um, anyone was actually interested, but we do get a decent amount of people, and people are engaged and ask questions, and I appreciate that. So we'll continue to keep these going. I went to the NRA convention last year in Dallas, and you were allowed to carry a firearm. This year, the NRA convention is in Atlanta, and you can't carry a firearm, so I will not be going to that. I just think that's kind of un-American to have a NRA convention in a place that doesn't allow you to carry a firearm, and I just think it's pretty stupid. Yeah, actually, I was afraid of shooting the drone, but I just think it would be cool to take it to the range. I could have the drone photograph me shooting, and I can put the drone right by the target and have it record all my shots so I can save it for history. Yeah, I don't know where you're from, V. I'm in Tennessee. We don't have as many drones out in public as they do in New Jersey. So I took my drone out for the second time today and did a quick fly over the house. And fortunately, nobody shot it down. I'll give this another 8 minutes, and then I'm going to go watch the Eagles hopefully lose. We got any more firearms related questions? Get them out there now. We're going to end in about 8 minutes. And I don't think that's actually true there, V. It's not like we're talking dirty or anything like that. We enjoy having women around. This is for everyone, not just for men. I think the only time men clam up and when women are around is if it's their wives are around. And Bricks, if you're still around, I'm assuming that I could find your channel under Bricks Tactical, so I'll check your channel out as well. All right, we're down to 4 people left. Multitasking here. And it would be nice if it actually showed the name of the people that were here because it just shows the count, and I would like to acknowledge people. I only know who's here when they type in a comment. All right, we have anything else we want to discuss? Any topics? Any future products you'd like to see? Reviews, podcasts, etc.? Leave your comments, and I'll try to entertain them. And we got about 3 minutes left. All right, we're going to wind it down now. We're down to only 2 people. So, again, those of you who joined our live stream today, we thank you. We'll be doing it again in the future. Thanks for watching.